Great afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Sunday Mindset Message here, where I go live every Sunday to share a message with you, to help you with your mind, to help you begin your week in a way that you will begin to unravel some of the powers of your mind to be able to manifest your dreams and your desires. So you'll be able to travel the world, wake up when you want to wake up, buy your brand new home, be able to purchase the cars that you want, be able to put your children in the private schools that you would like to, be able to go to your parents' house and let them know that you have officially retired them. This is what this is all about. This is all about developing ourselves. Since Sunday is the beginning, it is the inception of the week. I want to give you the message for the week that you can use to apply this week. Because remember something about success and wealth and happiness. It is a step-by-step process. And that step is you taking a step and taking action, right? So sometimes I have to remind you of what you need to do. And sometimes my rants and my Sunday mindset messages may be repetitive. But remember something about repetition. Repetition is the mother of skill. Anything that we do or repeat over and over again, we tend to begin to believe, because that information starts to bypass the conscious mind and start to embed deeply into the unconscious part of you, which is the part of you that makes all your decisions, which is the part of you that holds and contains all your beliefs. So welcome. Go ahead and comment your names here below. I want everybody to write this down. Listen, please comment these words below. This is going to be interactive, by the way. I'm going to do a training here for free. My trainings are very expensive here, but I'm going to do it for free because I love you. I care about you. And it's Sunday fun day. And if I'm not mistaken, is today the Super Bowl? I have no idea, honestly. The Super Bowl has nothing to do with me earning $300,000 per day. The Super Bowl has nothing to do with me being a very progressive, productive person. The Super Bowl has nothing to do with me becoming an outstanding leader for millions and millions, if not billions of people on the planet here. So I'm unaware of it. I'm not watching it. I don't care who wins. I mean, much love to the men out there that's fighting for the trophy. But I have my own trophy. I have my own goals that I must fulfill for myself here. So listen, write this down below. Your past doesn't create your future. Now, the thing is, you've heard that before, I'm sure. If you're in personal development, if you read any book in the self-help space, you know what I'm talking about. But I want to go deeper on it, okay? It's important to go deeper because some of you may say, okay, yeah, my past doesn't make my future. I understand that, but you don't understand it intuitively, okay? And I want to give you a deeper understanding of that statement. So before I start, I want you to write that down, okay? And I want you to write it down 7 times. Now, you may think, Wesley, why do I need to write down your past doesn't create your future? Or my past doesn't create my future 7 times? Because your brain, how it absorbs information and actually take action on information is through repetition. You ever watch the commercial over and over again, and before you saw the commercial, you didn't care too much about the product that they were trying to sell? But through the repetitiveness of watching that commercial, seeing that hamburger, seeing those fries, one day you wake up, I want a hamburger, I want fries, right? It's called marketing here, but it's so many psychological triggers and tricks that they use, but I want to teach you how to use those same tricks on yourself. So I will like you, and I want to suggest that you write down, my past doesn't create my future. Go ahead and write that down below, please. My past doesn't create my future. My past. What is my past? Everything that happened to you yesterday, an hour ago, a minute ago, 2 hours ago, a decade ago, a year ago, a month ago. That's your past. But what I want you to be aware of, it doesn't create your future. Many of you, unfortunately, because you've never been taught this on this type of level, that you're using your past to create the future. You're using your past as a blueprint for the future. You're using everything that went wrong, problems, challenges, adversity, people that don't treat you well, debt, bad credit. You got talked about, teased, you got fired, you got terminated, and you got rejected as well. And you're taking all the emotions, how you feel about the past, to determine what may happen in your future. Let me prove it to you. How many of you have ever said, I knew that was going to happen? I knew that was going to happen. See, this always happens to me. Every time something great happens, then some shit happens or something bad takes place in my life. Now, I want you to think about what you said and how you said it. You said, I knew. You know, when you're doing something and you're on track and you're feeling good about yourself, then something happens in your life that just puts you back on the ground. And you're like, man, I knew this was going to happen. See, man, everything was going well. This always happens to me. Right? So think about what you're saying. You're saying that you knew it was going to happen, which means that you're a psychic now. Because you're telling yourself that you already knew the future. You knew this was going to happen. So you're already going to fail. Even before you begun, whatever you were doing, you already knew you were going to fail. And then, listen, please, you said this always happens to you. I always get rejected. I always lose money. I'm always the butt of the joke. Always, always, always. You have to be very careful when you use the word always, because it's unfair. Listen, no one on the planet receives pain always. No one on the planet has a bad moment always. Okay? No one. But you perceive that it's always, because when you're in the moment, not only are you thinking about the moment that is terrible to you, you are feeling and emotionalizing that it is. Write this down below, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please write this down. It's going to change your entire life, I promise you, because it changed mine. Your past, my past, say my past. Because I want you to make it personal to you. My past doesn't make my future. Say it a few times. My past doesn't make my future. My past doesn't create my future. My past doesn't create my future. Okay, Wes, well, what creates my future? Because you may be thinking, I got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. My past doesn't create my future. I'm using the past, unfortunately, unconsciously. I've been using my past for a very, very long time to create the life that I have here today. Every year I keep giving these new goals and new dreams and new resolutions here, but I keep thinking about what took place 2 years ago, a year ago. I'm trying to move over into a brand new relationship with this young man or with this young lady. But I keep thinking about what that person did to me before. They cheated, they lied on me, they hurt my feelings so badly. I don't want to do anything anymore. Now I'm scared. Now I'm really apprehensive about moving forward with anybody in my life. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a guard up. I'm going to put a guard up. I'm not letting anybody in, because no one's ever going to hurt me no one's ever going to hurt me like that anymore. I'm not going to invest into that company. I invested into a company before, and I had to file bankruptcy. It took everything I've ever had. It brought me down to my knees. I can't do that anymore. I never want to experience that. And even though that sounds logical, it's incorrect. It's incorrect. Okay? You'll never progress. You'll never become the person that you're supposed to be if you keep thinking and looking back at your past to carve a way to your future. What you'll realize that you're going to go in a circle. It's like driving a car. Let me give you a great analogy here. Like I have a car. I have a few cars, right? So when I'm driving the McLaren, I'm driving straight, right? And the McLaren is a very fast vehicle. Just to let you know, I have the 720S model. It's beautiful. I paid about $500,000 for it. Got a deal, right? And that vehicle is very, very scary. I'm going to be honest with you. It's fast. It picks up speed. And of course, me being Wesley Virgin, I added some adjustments to the vehicle because I want to be loud and fast. That's just how I am. I'm a loud and fast individual. Even when I talk, I'm loud. So my cars need to be loud as well. So if I'm driving my McLaren down Westheimer, it's a street here in Houston, Texas here. And if I'm going 80, 90 miles per hour, and if I begin to look behind me, what's going to happen? If I begin to look behind me while I'm driving straight, and I'm going 90 miles per hour, what may happen if I'm looking behind me? Say if something catch my eye, right? I'm like, oh, what's that? What's that? And I'm looking behind me, going 90 miles per hour. What's going to happen? Put it down in the comments below, please. Put it down in the comments below. What's going to happen? I'm going to have an accident. Of course, I'm going to crash. That's right, Max the Great. I'm going to crash. Right? And then the question is, when I talk to the police officer, right? And he said, what was going on? I was looking behind me. Why were you looking behind you? Why were you looking behind you when you were obviously going straight ahead? And my question to you is, young people, why are you looking behind you while you're moving forward towards your goals and your dreams? You want to move forward towards the things that you want out of life, but you keep looking at everything that you don't want. You get it? Can I get an amen, please? Let me say it again. Like, everybody wants to make progress. That's obvious. And to make progress, you have to go straight. But why are you looking back at your past? Why are you looking behind you in an attempt to go straight? You know why you're looking behind you? You say, well, I want to make sure there's no barriers, no obstacles. I want to make sure that, what happened to me before don't happen again. That's you. Well, I want to make sure I don't date that type of man again. I want to make sure I don't date that type of woman again. I want to make sure I don't start that type of business again. I want to make sure I don't jump into that type of opportunity again. I don't want that to happen again. I don't know. And what you don't realize that what you don't want is what you will get. And you're going to have an accident. You're going to wreck again. Only because you're focusing on the past. You're looking behind you. You're going 90 and 100 miles per hour straight ahead, moving towards what you want. And all of a sudden, you want to get scared because you see an obstacle and you look back. And if you look back just for a second, if you're driving a McLaren, it's game over. You're done. Listen. My past doesn't create my future. Write that down again. Write it down. My past doesn't create my future. The reason why you need to write it again, because I have spoken about this before. I have taught this before, and you're still doing it. You're still looking at the past. You're still talking about the past. You're still focusing on the challenges. You're still focusing on the problems, the debt. You don't have enough money. You're broke. Can't stand your job. Can't stand the people. Can't stand your wife. Can't stand your husband. Right? Which means is you need to hear it again. Okay? Write it down again. My past doesn't create my future. My past, it does not. Okay, Wes, so what creates our future? What do I need to do right now? It's Sunday. Happy Sunday. What do I need to do right now in this moment to begin to create my future? It's very simple. It's very interesting in life. Most things that look to be very incredible, when you see people master things in life, it's always just the little simple things that they do. It's nothing really that's so great. It's like they're just such a genius. It's the simplistic things that they do repetitively. So to create your future, all you need to do is focus in the present moment on what the future should look like. That's it. Okay? Listen, let me say that again because you didn't get a big head. Like right now, it's Sunday, right? It's Sunday, okay? It's 11:38 a.m. in the morning here in Houston, Texas. So if I want to create my future, if I want to create something different, right now, what I would do, I would just start to think about what I want to experience. For example, say if I want to be in a relationship, say if I want to be in a better relationship, say if all my past relationships sucked and I want to be in a better relationship, I can't say, well, you know what? I want to be in a better relationship. No. Wrong. It'll never happen. You'll never have a better relationship. What you say is, I'm so grateful now that I'm in a not better relationship. I'm with a person that loves me. I'm with a person that's loyal to me. I'm with a person that treats me very well. Well, how do you know they treat you well? Well, if I'm a man, I'm with a woman that's nurturing. I'm with a woman that's kind. I'm with a woman that supports my dream. I'm with a woman that accepts me for exactly who I am. I'm with a woman that's patient. I'm with a woman that's obsequious. That's just me. That if I wanted to attract that, I would say that. I would say I'm with that woman now. I'm with a woman that loves to smile. I'm with a woman that's optimistic, positive. I'm with a woman that smells good, looks good, pretty. Does that make sense? You see what I'm doing here? I could do the same thing for companies and businesses. Because what do I want? If you've had failed companies, how many of you have had failed companies and failed businesses in the past? Failed opportunities. Well, like if I want to create something new, I say I'm so grateful now that, this new opportunity that I just got involved with is working out. I'm making $1,000 a day, $30,000 a month right now. I'm excited about that. Customers and people are just flowing into my business right now. Wow. I'm waking up whenever I want to wake up. Going to the gym every day. Then going home and working a little bit. And my employees are great. My salespeople are amazing. My graphic designers, the people that work for me, they love the culture of the company that I've created for them. That's creating. See what I'm doing there? I'm creating what I want. See, why it's so difficult for most of you to do that? Because you've never really spent time creating the future. And many of you that have tried to do it, you lack clarity of what the future will look like because you don't know exactly what you want. You just don't know. But you know exactly what you don't want, don't you? Yeah. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be unhappy. I don't want to be fat. Like, you know that. Like, you can give us stories. You can tell us about when people tease you, talked about you. You can tell me about how people treated you wrong. You can tell me, you can talk for hours about that. But can you talk for hours about what you're trying to create? Can you talk for hours about the dream and the vision and the desires that will take place in your life? Can you talk for hours about this image, about this new picture that every day that you're conjuring up within your mind and you're increasing the picture and the intensity of the picture in the mind every day? Can you talk for hours about that? Can you get so detailed that I don't even have to be there with you, but through your adjectives and through your words of description, your descriptors, I can create the same picture in my mind based on what you're sharing with me? Most of you is a no. Because you're too linked to the past. You're too familiar with the past. Listen, the only work that is necessary is that you have to be aware. You will default every once in a while, and you would just think about the past again. Because the pain that people feel in relationships, the pain that people feel with opportunities, businesses, and even with their body and their self-image, is very intense. So there's so many triggers that take place that are triggering you to reset you back to the old you. Would trigger you to go back to your past and say, oh no, I'm scared because I remember this was happening in the last thing, in the last company, on the last person here. But listen, you got to see your way through it. You can't judge so quickly here. And then you have to understand. Let me give you some advice about relationships. Now, I'm not a relationship advice giver. All right? I'm not in a relationship, so you maybe shouldn't take my advice, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. In relationships, if you're a person, a man or a woman that wants to avoid pain in relationships, like you want no pain, right? You want zero pain. Well, I would suggest you not to be in a relationship, because relationships don't just come with pleasure. They come with pain as well. It's inevitable. It's just how it is. And it will always be that way. And actually, we should want it to be that way. That's a whole nother rant. Like, you should not expect the pain, but you just realize the pain is very necessary for the pleasure to thrive. Because pain is just not just hurtful feeling. Pain is understanding. Right? That's all it is. It's understanding more about the person and more about yourself. But you have to choose to be that way. You have to choose to want to understand that pain. And that's called maturity. That's all that is. It's a person that's choosing to understand the pain other than reacting to the pain. Okay? Does that make sense? Because a relationship with no pain is boredom. Women, can I get an amen, please? Even women know this. I was watching TikTok the other night, and this young lady, it was so funny. She said she went out on a date with a young man, I think it was an older man, very nice. She said, this man, I know he would give me whatever I want. He would treat me like a queen. But you know what this woman said? She said, but I just didn't feel the vibe. I didn't feel the connection with this man. To the point that I left early. And now I have another date. And there's another man that sends me Playboy vibes. You know? He's the type of man that's a little bit commanding. He's the type of man that's kind of unpredictable. And you know what that woman said? She said, I'm excited about it. Like, I'm excited about this date. That's a whole nother rant. That's a whole nother message here. Right? But one thing that no one wants, especially women, they don't want boredom in relationships. They don't want boredom. But listen, this relates to businesses and companies and things of that sort. Is that if you're looking not to fail or not to have any problems in your companies or in your businesses and opportunities, I would suggest you just don't do it. Okay? Just don't do it. Don't waste your time and don't waste the people's time that you want to be involved with. All right? Just don't do it. And as a matter of fact, some of you're just not built that way. You're just not built for it. Does that make sense? You're not built to be able to handle pain. You're not built to be able to rectify very emotional charged responses. Many of you are not built to have any type of emotional intelligence. Many of you are always reactive to everything. Like you have no type of stoicism, no peace. You know, you don't have the ability to take a second and think before you react and realize that this is an opportunity for you to be proactive. You're not built that way. And you might say, well, Wesley, if I'm not built that way, doesn't mean I can never be that way. You can. But you got to get around a person that's like that. Even if you listen to their podcasts and their rants, you don't have to personally be around a person that's like that. You can listen to a person that's like that. You can get very, very deeply embody or involved in what they're doing and what they're saying, okay? Because it's just knowledge. The more knowledge you have, you will begin to take different actions. Your behaviors, your attitudes will change. And more importantly, your perception will change about your life. Write this down one more time, please. Your past doesn't create your future. My past doesn't create my future. My past, write it 7 times. My past doesn't create my future. My past doesn't create my future. My past doesn't create my future. I want you to begin to cut off the past and let the past be exactly where it needs to be. And that's the past. It's over. The only person that's talking about the past is you. The only person that's reliving the past is you. If you have people in your life that's talking about your past and using your past as a weapon, eliminate them. Let them go. Delete them. Right? Ostracize yourself from these people. Why? Because it is your moment. And that's the great thing about just the grace of God, right? Every moment, every day, every hour, we have an opportunity to make new decisions in life. Like even right now. Like before now, maybe you've made some piss poor decisions. Maybe you have some vices and some very, very cynical habits that have just ruined your life. But I'm going to tell you something. Your life is not ruined. You still have an opportunity to make a new decision right now to be a capable person. Men, you have the opportunity right now to be a capable man. Maybe before you were incapable. Your finances was all screwed up. Maybe your body is all screwed up. Maybe you lack communication skills. Maybe you lack emotional intelligence. But what I want you to understand, right here in this moment, wherever you are on the planet, you can begin to be a capable man. You can learn how to be financially astute. You can go to the gym. You can start eating healthier. You can start taking care of yourself properly. You can start to raise your self-image. You can begin to teach yourself new words and get around people who communicate better. You can learn emotional intelligence by reading books and adding more intellectual conversations to your world, that you'll be able to speak better, be able to posture better. You'll learn how to be a more relaxed man, a man of stoicism, a man that can be very calm in chaotic situations, if that makes sense. And guess what, women? You can do the same thing as well. You can learn how to be a capable woman, okay? You can learn how to really take care of yourself, taking care of your mind. You'll learn how to be and learn how to relax in your feminine energy. Because, most women want men anyway. They want men more than they want riches, right? And even the women that want riches, they want men too. They just want to be rich with the man at the same time. But sometimes that doesn't work that way, right? But women, you can learn how to be more capable of taking care of yourself. Really learning to smile more. I'm going to give you some practical things, women. Smile more. Stop having this grimace on your face every time you walk around the planet here. Okay? Have a smile on your face. Have a relaxed face, not the other type of face. It's going to put wrinkles in your face as you get older. Your face is going to look terrible. Smile more, right? You don't have to always express yourself. When you express yourself from a facial standpoint, a facial expressions standpoint, you create wrinkles and fine lines in your face. I want you to be beautiful and I want you to stay beautiful. Learn to be calm. Women, learn to speak less. You don't have to always talk. Be a thinker. Think before you respond. Learn how to be a bit more submissive. Learn how to be a bit more softer. I get it. You've been through hell with men. I get it. But learn how to be a softer individual. If you want to be a female, if you want to relax in your feminine energy. Now, if you want to be masculine, you want to be a man, then do that. Okay? But I'm going to tell you something. Men, or even men of my caliber, we don't want that at all, period. We don't want nothing to do with masculine women. Okay? Unless you're going to make us some money. Right? Men want a woman that's softer. We want men Men want women that know how to communicate, know how to deliver information. We want women that can use the softer side of her voice. We want a woman that doesn't need to be authoritative, doesn't need to argue, doesn't need to be combative, doesn't need to be disagreeable. Does that make sense? Just want to give you a few things here. And listen, it's done. It's over. The Sunday Mindset message is done. Any questions for me here? I want this, and I want you to listen to this again. I want to make a suggestion to listen to it again. Because even though you think that you get it, you don't. You got to hear it again. You got to realize your past doesn't make your future. And now you have to be aware, because tomorrow is Monday morning. And before you start the day, you got to create the day. That's Jim Rohn. He says before a person starts the day, you have to create the day. You have to create on how you want the day to be. And through repetition, one day, that day will be exactly how the day you have imagined in your mind. Does that make sense? But it will only happen if you actually do it. Like you lay in your bed right now and just start creating the day. Create what you want to do. How do you want to feel? Who do you want to meet? Where do you want to go? What do you want to experience? It's up to you. Okay? But you got to begin to do it. And you got to begin to trust that that's how the process works. This is how it works. Unfortunately, many of you have been doing it unconsciously, and you've been focusing on what you don't want, and that's why you're getting what you don't want year after year. Listen, it's time to change. And it's time to change it. And it's time to change it now. Did you get value here tonight or this morning? Come with the word value if you got value here. Any questions for me before I let you go, so you can begin to create your future. Create it. Create and start thinking and using your imagination to create what you want. Any questions for me before I let you go here? Remember, I love you. I care about you. That's why I do this for you. As you can see, if you notice, I'm very consistent with these messages. If you want to join the Sunday Mindset message every morning on Sunday, come to the Instagram, Wesley Virgin. I'm here to set you up for your day. Okay? Wes, happy Sunday. Thank you for the message. What are some of your habits that support your mindset? Some of my habits that support my mindset is this: I'm always grateful. And I'm not just grateful for the pleasurable things in my life. I'm grateful for the pain. Some of my habits, I meditate every day. I've already meditated today. I'm going to meditate maybe 4 more times today. And I only meditate because I meditate to get more clear with my vision of my future. I meditate to create the image in my mind of the life that I am living right now. Does that make sense? Meditation allows me to have a clear vision of what the future looks like. And the more that you meditate, the more that you calm the mind, you give the mind the opportunity to create a vivid image of what you would like life to be. Make sense? Another habit of mine, I drink a ton of water. You know, you got to stay hydrated. I eat healthy. I just ate chicken breast and egg whites this morning and oatmeal. All right. Another one of my habits is I always have a smile on my face. It sounds very simplistic, right? Very trivial. But I always have a smile on my face. If I leave, like on Sundays, I don't leave my house. I stay here because I'm working and I'm meditating. And I do this consistently until certain things take place. But I love it. Another one of my habits, I'm alone. I like being by myself, alone with myself. And I don't do that because I'm just antisocial. No. I'm just all about me. And I love me. And I enjoy my time with myself. It's a habit. I love it. Because when I'm by myself, I can control everything in my life. I control what I say, what I think about, what I do, what I eat. right? Have total dominion over my life when I'm alone, right? Another one of my habits is I work out. You know, most people don't do well because they don't feel well. Every day, 5 days a week, I'm in the gym. I'm working out. It's a habit. When I work out, I feel accomplished. I feel that I've done something that was probably difficult. And it makes me feel good to be able to sweat, be able to push my muscles to capacity. I love it. It's a turn on. It's orgasmic. Okay? So those are some of the habits that, and I read. Like I read every day. If I'm not reading, I'm listening to some type of personal development. Like every day. Every morning when I wake up, I'm listening to something that is going to groom and condition my mind for what I want. Every morning. I'm not listening to music. I don't listen to music in the mornings. Like I'm not listening to Drake or Nicki Minaj. I'm not listening to this stuff. I'm listening to personal development. I'm listening to billionaires. I'm listening to people who make more money than me. I'm listening to people who speak better than me, who can articulate their messages better than I can. That's what I'm listening to every single morning, folks. Even if a woman, say if a woman is at my house, right? I'm in a bed with a woman. I'm going to listen to it as well. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to do exactly what I've done before. And she better get on board or she going to get the hell out. I'm being honest with you. If that woman is not on board with what I do, then she got to go. She just doesn't align with me. And that's okay. Does that make sense? What next? Any more questions for me? Hey, Angel, how are you? Make sure if you just arrived, listen to this again. Okay? Just listen to it again if you just arrived here. I will post this to make this available. We have any more questions for me before I let you know? Wes, what are your thoughts on Elon Musk? I love Elon Musk. I think he's a innovator. I think he's a outstanding example of what's possible. I mean, I love the man. I have him on my wall, by the way. Hey, Wes, could you talk about your first experiences with the wealthy as a new millionaire? What did you learn from those experiences that were most eye-opening for you? You mean when I made my first million? I mean, I was excited, honestly. But what you have to understand, and this is what's so difficult for me, I'm always trying my best to communicate this to you that you or get it. Like I was a millionaire before I became a millionaire, if that makes sense to you. I was a millionaire before I had $1 million in the bank account, 2 years before. Which means is like I had convinced my mind that I was already rich. So I was already acting as if I was a millionaire. So when it happened, it just wasn't, I was excited about it, but it wasn't like overexcitement because I was already living that life before I had the money. Does that make sense? You might say, no, Wes, that doesn't make sense. What do you mean you was a millionaire? So let me explain it to you. Many of you, when you think about millions of dollars, you just think about the money that's in the bank account and the things you can do and buy and travel to. I'm talking about the vibration part of making a ton of money. I'm talking about the feeling of being a millionaire. Obviously, a millionaire has total freedom. A millionaire has options. He can do and she can do whatever he or she wants to do. He or she controls and manages their destiny, right? They're completely independent from the world, okay? So when I say I was a millionaire before I had the physical money in the bank account, what I'm stating is that I felt like I was rich. So how do you think a millionaire feels? Well, they're very positive people. They're very happy. I mean, if you had $1 million in your bank account, would you not be happy? Of course. So I was happy all the time. I was excited. I was overly optimistic. I always had a smile on my face. I was walking around with my chest out, arms back, like life was just perfect because I was a multi-millionaire. I just felt that way. Does that make sense? And I did that for 2 years before I had a dime in the bank account. So I hope that answers your question there. That you have to begin to embody the man or woman that you want to be now. Does that make sense? You have to be and embody the man that or woman that you want to be now. You have to do it right now. And it may take years. So what? I mean, what else are you doing? Do you want to be a piss poor person or you want to be an extraordinary person? When I hear people like, well, how long is it going to take? And I'm like, why does it matter how long it's going to take? I mean, you're going to have to be something every day of your life. You're either going to be a jackass or you're going to be a person that's like, you're either going to be a negative person or a person that's depressed all the time, a person that's unhealthy or a person that has no money, or you're going to be the vision of the future or whatever that is. You're going to have to be somebody anyway. So why not be the greatest version of yourself? Right? When people complain to me about the time aspect of this, like, how much time? Well, they're communicating that they're so impatient. Like, it's like becoming the greater version of themselves is some task. Like it's some arduous task that they don't want to do. And I'm like, don't you want to be the greatest version of yourself? I mean, don't you want to be healthy? Don't you want to be in love? Don't you want to have a ton of money in your bank account? Right? Don't you want to be spiritually centered? Right? Don't you want to be emotionally intelligent? So why does it matter about the time aspect? Because you got to beat somebody every day anyway. Don't you want to be something that's respected? Don't you want to be a person that even you will look up to yourself? Does that make sense? So why are you complaining about the time that it takes? It doesn't matter how long it takes. Right? Because you're gradually becoming the new self, the new you. And if that's annoying to you, right? Or you don't like doing what you need to do to become the person that you should be, then okay, well, just be who you are now. Because maybe you're just so familiar with the old person. So for you to be the greater version of yourself, to you, is just too much work. And I get it. Maybe it is too much work for you. And if it is too much work for you, just relax in your poverty. Relax and just continue to be the mediocre, average person that you are. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not condemning it and I'm not berating you at all. I just can't do it. And I probably can't be around you. Right? Because I perform on a high level of life. This is how it is. I perform on a high level in life, period. I'll be like this until I die. And I just don't prefer low-level thinkers to be around me. It's just how it is. Don't care who you are. Okay? Any more questions for me before I let you go here? Did you get value here, young lady, young man? Why haven't you manifested your queen yet, Wes? Well, Angel, that's not my focus right now. My focus is not women. And I'm not trying to be upset here, but, just so many people always trying to get me with a woman all the time. Why? I have no problem with women. If I want a woman, I snap my fingers, they come. Just like that. That's no exaggeration. It is what it is. It's only because of the man that I've become. But that's not my focus. My focus is not a woman. My focus is my purpose. My focus is building companies to be able to make contributions to the world of people. Women are just not important to me right now. It's a ton of women. It's millions and millions of women, okay? I mean, that is not my focus at all. Maybe one day it will be, but not right now. Right now, I'm working on something that is going to be transformational for the world. Right now, I'm diligent and I'm schedually working towards something that I already see in my mind. So, I don't need a queen right now. It's billions of queens on the planet. I'm good. Honestly, I'm good by myself alone. Okay? And when I choose to bring a woman in my life, maybe you'll say it, maybe you won't. All right? But it's not my concern right now. What's next here? And listen, man, I recommend all my men that have a desire to be wealthy or to be financially independent, don't focus on women. Just do not focus on women. Focus on yourself. Focus on developing yourself, because a lot of you men, you're out here chasing women. I don't chase women. There's nothing wrong with pursuing a woman, but I don't chase. Chase is the assumption that somebody's running away from you. And some of you men, you're trying to prove to a woman that you're capable, and you're not. Because a woman knows if you're capable or not. You know, women are smart about that. They're very intuitive and very intelligent when it comes to a man. She knows within like 5 seconds. She just knows when you open your mouth, how you dress, how you speak, how you look, how you carry yourself. It's just all these unconscious triggers that women receive from a man. Like, nah, this ain't it. And you get butthurt, man. And you get mad at women and say, oh, they want too much. Why wouldn't they? If you had a daughter, when you want your woman to have the best version of man on the planet, that's what I want for my daughter. I want her to have the best version. Outstanding version. You hear me? So why wouldn't somebody else's daughter want the same thing as well? The problem with a lot of you men, you need to stop chasing women and start chasing your dreams. You need to start developing yourself. Listen, when you begin to develop yourself as a man, and I've talked about the different areas of that men should develop themselves in, listen, women just come. I mean, you don't have to chase any. You just show up and they look at you. They want you. They give you eyes. They like, hey, come talk to me. I like you. I mean, they will pick you. Now you become the selector. No one selects me. I select who I want. Does that make sense? And that's how it should be. But women, because we have so many piss poor, incapable men, you know, you're waiting to get picked. And that's bullshit. Waiting to get picked by a woman. That's insane to me. I hope she picked me. I hope she picked me. Get the fuck out of here. Ain't nobody picking me. I'm going to select you. Right? What's next here? Can you drop some books in the comments? Sure. One book is Think and Grow Rich. Go get the book. Another book is Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. Another book is Breaking the Habits of Being Yourself. Another book is You Are the Supernatural. Start with those. Another book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Wes, did you know your purpose before you made your first million, or did you discover it after you made it? That's a good question here. Actually, I made a decision of what my purpose was before I made $1 million. True story. I was in my office. I was in my little bitty apartment that had no furniture, but I had a desk and a computer, right? And at the time, I was reading a ton of books. As you folks know, I'm a voracious reader. I love reading. I may not read the entire book, but I like reading chapters here and there, chapters here and there, and I like to apply it to my life. And I like to share things with you based off what I read, right? I just love accumulating knowledge. So I was in my office one day. I forgot the book I was reading. But I realized that my purpose was more important than the millions. It just was. Because I knew I was going to make $1 million. I didn't know how exactly, but I just knew it. But I said my purpose, like millions of dollars is going to give me a lifestyle, but the purpose is going to sustain the lifestyle. Does it make sense? My purpose is going to sustain how I feel. You make $1 million, you feel good, you're excited, but now you want to make 2 million, then 3 million, then 4 million. And it never stops, by the way. You're going to want to make more and more and more. And you're going to realize that that feeling of that high, it's going to go away. But what sustains the high for me, the reason why I'm always in bliss, because I'm living out my purpose, which is what I'm doing with you here. I'm communicating to you to help you become your greatest version of yourself. I love making a contribution to people. I love helping people because there's so many people that are hurt and lost and confused and uncertain and doubtful and depressed. It's very sad, honestly. So I'm here to be an advocate of those people because you, when I say those people, I'm talking about you. I've been there. Like I've been broke. I slept in my car. I filed bankruptcy. I have repossessions. I have bad credit. I wrote bad checks before. I've been in jail a few times. I mean, I've already experienced it. I've had no lights, no water. It was times I had to go to the gym to take a shower because I had a house and I couldn't even pay the freaking light bill. True story, by the way. So I've experienced that stuff, right? I already understand what you're going through, which is why I'm able to resonate with you, okay? Does that make sense? What's next for me here? Any more questions for me before I let you go here? She says, Angel, she really wants me to be married. She said there's a lot of billionaire power couples on the planet West. Maybe what you're missing to become a billionaire. No, I'm not missing anything, Angel. Nothing. I'm not missing nothing. That's the key. And that's why I want you folks to understand. You're not missing nothing. You know, in our minds, unfortunately, because how we've been trained, is that we always think we're missing something. Like you think you're missing something is the reason why you're not rich. You think you're missing something, the reason why you don't have the body of your dream. You're missing something, the reason why you can't find a relationship. Like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And maybe you're not doing anything wrong. Maybe you're doing everything right. But maybe you just got to continue to do what you're currently doing to get what you want. Instead of just throwing a piss pouty party with yourself, talking about, what am I missing? What am I missing? What am I? Nothing. Everything's available to you. Do you not understand that everything that you need is already inside of you? It's inside of you. Everything. When you were created, if you believe that God created you, or the universe, everything, when you were created, everything that you needed was already embedded inside of you. Everything. Okay? Everything that you need. You have all the resources. Okay? The power of your mind. Everything that you need is already inside of you. There's nothing in the world that you need right now to develop yourself to become the man or woman that you want to be. It took me a long time to understand that. Because I thought I needed something else. I thought I needed a mentor. Well, I need to find a millionaire. Well, I need more resources. I need more business. I need to be in America. Well, I need this. I need this. I need a better mom, a better dad. I need a better husband. Nah. You need to realize that everything that you need is within you. You are like a seed, ladies and gentlemen. Right? What is a seed? Small. It's a little bitty small little button looking thing, right? A seed. That's what you are. And the seed can be planted. A seed can be cultivated. Every tree that you see in your city, every tree that you see in your town, your province, those trees started with a seed that is no bigger than your fingernail. Seed. And over years of cultivation, over years of planting, taking care of the ground, watering the seed, 10 years later, you have a beautiful tree. Well, that's you. Okay? The tree did not need anything other than the sunlight and someone taking care of the tree. The tree didn't need a mentor. There's no tree mentors out here. All right? The tree didn't need pep talks every week. No. Just need the plant. Take care of the ground, sunlight, rain. That's all what you need too. You need to cultivate the greatness that's within you because you're great. You just don't believe it yet. Because if you truly believed that you were great, you wouldn't have all these problems mentally. Which means is you have to work on you. Work on cultivating yourself. So when I call it separating from the world. Disappear for a while. Disappear from people. You do that because now you're putting all focus on the seed, which is yourself. And then one day when you come back to the world, people see you as a brand new tree. You're different. Right? You're financially astute. You're good looking. Got a good body on you. Look good, smell good. White teeth. Right? You can communicate well. You posture well. You have a different demeanor. Okay? Now, you don't have to chase nothing anymore. Any questions for me here? Okay? How do I know if I should keep pursuing a business venture or when to change the directions here? So the thing is about business is what I suggest is find somebody in business that's related to your business that's similar and model them. If somebody is doing what you're trying to do, and if they're doing it well, that means that it's possible. Because I know some of you are like, well, I don't know if this is the right business because I don't know if I'm going to make money. Well, find somebody. That's what I did. Find somebody that's running the business that you want to run. Find someone that is running a successful business. You don't have to know them personally. You go on something that's called the internet, go on YouTube and type it in. You'll see millions of people that's already doing what you're currently doing. If you want to be in the internet business, internet marketing, well, find an internet marketer that's doing well and model that person, model their products. Okay, model what they're doing, model their thinking. So now you won't be confused if this company that you're creating is actually going to be profitable. Okay. What's next here? I'll take 1 or 2 more questions here. And forget about Super Bowl Sunday, folks. What are your thoughts on Jesus in that we need saving versus we all need inside of us? Thank you for the answering. What are your thoughts on Jesus and that we need saving versus, I don't think, listen, when it comes to the Bible, God, Jesus, listen, we don't need saving. Okay? You know, say, oh, you need to be saved by Jesus Christ. You need to be saved. No, we don't need saving as it relates to anything that's biblical in Jesus Christ. Now, this is just my thoughts. What we need to do is get our fucking act together. What we need to do in our lives has nothing to do with God and Jesus. Like, oh, we need to be saved. We need to be following Jesus Christ. Listen, you need to be a better person. Like, you need to go work out. You need to read more. You need to separate from negativity. You need to be a more positive person. See, the big issue with people is we feel that we always need saving. And I'm not going to get into a religious discussion here because many of you are not going to, you can't even have a discussion with me without being overly emotionally charged, okay? What I'm saying is we don't need saving. As people, we feel that we need something or some deity to save us. Save me, Jesus. Save me, God. Save me from my pain. Save me from my iniquities. That's your pain. That's your iniquities. You created it. Save yourself. Think for a second. If you created the pain that's existing in your life, you're the only one that can eliminate it. Why would you cry out to Jesus or to a God, to a deity to fix what you've created? Did it not say in the Bible that God gives you free will? Free will to do what you want to do. So why would you fuck up now? You want somebody to fix your mess? It doesn't work that way. No one here on the planet is here or created to save you. You need to save yourself. And you have to realize that only you can save yourself. Does that make sense? That's it. No one's going to save you from your iniquities and your pain and your sins. You got to do this. You got to grow the fuck up. You got to mature yourself. You have to start. You got to be an intellectual. Read more books. The Bible is not the only book on the planet. Read other books. You need to understand how to do very practical things. Because many of you, I get it. You want to go to heaven. I get it. Cool. You don't want to go to hell. But what I'm here to tell you, heaven is right now. It's happening. Heaven is on earth. And I'm so sorry that you feel that you have to wait until you die to go to a place that you're not even sure that exists. But I'm here to tell you that heaven is on earth. And it's millions of people that would agree with me. Heaven is happening right now. Because heaven is how you feel more than a place that you go to. Does that make sense? Like I said, I don't want to get into a religious discussion here. Okay? But yeah. You don't need Jesus or God to save you. Okay? Save you from your sin. Stop it. Okay? You sound ridiculous. Okay? Yeah. No. You need to take accountability of yourself. Okay, that's why I'm rich, by the way. You know why I'm rich and happy? Because I take accountability of my actions, my attitudes, my behaviors, and my habits. Period. That's why. It's not because I'm reading the Bible. It's not because I believe in God and Jesus. It has nothing to do with what I'm doing here today. I'm grateful, right? Like I choose to believe in God, right? That's a whole nother discussion. But I'm grateful that God gave me what he gave me to be able to do what I'm currently doing here. But it's up to me, period. God already gave me everything that I need that's necessary for me to create a outstanding life. So I'm not begging to God. I'm not praying to God. I'm grateful. But I'm not begging, praying, and saying, save me, fix me. Absolutely not. That's ridiculous. That's a goddamn kid. No, I'm an adult. I'm an adult. Does that make sense? Okay. What's next here? Any more questions for me here? And I know some of you are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. Listen, first of all, I love you, but I don't care if you don't disagree. I don't care if you disagree with me. Disagree. Because maybe you have a better way. If you have a better way, go that way. But I'm giving you the way that I'm currently going in. Let me tell you something. We're going to the top. You know, life is just getting better and better every single day for me. But you may have a better way, and I appreciate that. And I suggest you go that way. Okay? Everything that I share on these rants and everything that I share on these Sunday mindset messages, listen, you can pull apart and you can take whatever you want to apply to your life. Some of the things that I say you might not believe, and that's okay. You don't need to believe it. But take what you need to take and make it applicable to your life. Right? That's it. Like I said, I'm just a messenger. And I know what works for me, and I know it works very well because you just can look at my life. That's why I can't wait to meet you so you can meet me in person, because I know some of you might say, well, I want to see like this in person. How is this man? Well, come to one of my seminars. You know, pay me $20,000. That's on the low end. And come see me speak. Come meet me in person, and you'll be able to feel my power when you're around me. You will feel my God power if you ever get the opportunity to be around me. Okay? You will feel it. You'll start to feel my aura. Okay? If you have any doubts about that. And one day maybe you will. Not sure. Any questions for me before I let you go here? Okay. Hey, I love you. I'm going to go ahead and let you go here. This is Wesley, $1 billion Virgin here. Remember, your past doesn't create your future here. Begin to create the future in the present moment. And if you continue to focus on what you want and get very clear about it, I promise you one day it will take place. This is Wesley, $1 billion Virgin. Much love, and let's go.